Yes, hello, good morning, Shalom. My name is Daniel Fitzgerald, or Daniel 7 of 7. I'm posting this video very briefly on YouTube. This morning I received an email from my former attorney, Mr. Lee Mullowney. I knew I would. I suspected this after my communication to my brother, Robert Scott Fitzgerald, yesterday. My position is on the phone call. I wanted to take the call from Mr. Mullowney because I wanted to know, I'm collecting material for the Supreme Court. So whatever he had to say to me might be relevant regarding my application to the Supreme Court of Canada. The estate matter is very much a part of the other matter. The two go hand in hand because it's the same people doing the same thing, But this time around, Mr. Mullowney had a change of position, which he indicated. He said that my brother filed an affidavit under oath about me to this Welland court, accusing me of all these things from the past. The matter of Premier Dalton McGuinty, which was over in 2008, 9. That's a long, long time ago, accusing me, false allegations against me regarding my mom, which are just lies. Mr. Mullowney, he has not done anything, to get anything on my brother. My brother's character pertaining to my mom. My mom was taken out of the house by Salvation Army when my brother hit her quite some time ago. I sent Mr. Mullowney one of the notes from this friend of my mom's in Crystal Beach that she sent me in my mom's own handwriting, of my brother's criminal abuse of her and stealing her card and calling her a terrible thing. It just seems that to me that, J.L. Lee Mullowney is on the same track. That, I got the perception today that he was trying to intimidate me with my brother's under oath, whatever it is he did, okay? It's like he was, Mullowney was trying to scare me with it or something. I'm not scared, my wife and I, well, we maintain the truth, I posted a video last night. I'm going to be complaining against Canada because Canada is trying to restrict the views of my videos, which is very clear, and I will deal with that with the Supreme Court as well. I will be calling them to let them know about this. This document here, which I posted on YouTube last night, which my wife found, was an email from my brother Robert Scott, dated, which is legal in court, dated November 17th, 2016, where my brother, he says right here, I have other things in my life that are as important as Jennifer and you. Just want and feel it's proper that we communicate as best we can regarding our mother. I have your copy of the will, and most of the house and assets are to be left to you as Mom helped me more than I deserve over the years. Okay? He says, I stood down from having your number removed from Mom's allowed incoming calls, and she's expressed you're much better on the phone, so I left it alone. My mother, and I say this to the Supreme Court and to the public, in 2020, my mom was in Welland Hospital, okay? And my wife and I were really worried about her. We sent her a plant, we sent her a card to cheer her up. And in that phone call, my mom reached out to me and she said to me, Todd, she says, I am very scared of your brother and I wish you and Jennifer were here right now. Okay? I told Mullowney this. Again, what is going on here is, from my perspective, is these people are ganging up on my wife and I. My lawyer told me that the Welland Court, Superior Court of Welland, helped my brother with his application. Excuse me? The Welland Court, I say this, okay? the Welland Courthouse needs to get this right, okay? That they had no legal right to accept my brother's application or response or under oath anything, because what he is first of all, he's lying under oath. Second of all, his excuses, he's trying to tell the court now that I have no right to be executor, okay, based on my criminal history, according to him. He's accused me of abusing my mother. I have evidence here of what is crystal clearly his abuse of my mother, and some of my mom's friends in Crystal Beach, more than a few, I've been in touch with, okay? They all are aware of my brother's criminal abuse against my mother. All of them, okay? Mr. Mullowney has done nothing about this. I told him, because I need more information from him. I need to get a feel. And that's why I spoke to him this morning. This is, again, what I sent him. And I verbally told him on the phone about this. And about this. In these documents, these are signed by my brother to my mother, okay? And all of them, stating I get the house. It's understood that I get the house and the property. He admits this here. Now, in this one here, this was July 10th, 2015, in this letter. Okay, this one's not signed by him. This one here just simply says, your son, Scott. It is from him. This one here, this was in 2015, July 10th, okay? This one that I put on last night on YouTube, this one here is from Robert Scott Fitzgerald on, as I said, November 2016. So, in November 2016, my brother, on this document here, says I get practically everything. Well, my brother knew about what happened in California. I went there to help my aunt. He knew about the McGinty case in, 2009. I think my brother's lost in history. And he knew about those things then in 2016. So I told Lee Mullowney on the phone this morning, or earlier today, that about this, okay, and about this. And then he said, well, I'm going to send my messenger over to pick them up. Then he said, can you send me copies by photograph? So I did. But what shocked me was that when I told him about this 2016 statement by my brother, Mullowney was not impressed at all. Not at all. And my wife and I have not lived had not lived with my mom now since 2018. So 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that's almost 4 years. And all of a sudden my brother's making an affidavit that to the court that I hit him or something. No, I did not hit him. I went like that. Okay? I just raised my arm up through the air because he was going to jump my wife in my mother's living room. Okay? He jumped at her like that. And I waved my arm at him like that, and I told him, don't you dare. Well, I accidentally flipped his hat off his head. I can't say I wasn't proud of it, but I was. But it was an accident. There was no intent on assault. If I wanted to assault him, I would have assaulted him. Okay, I basically waved my hand at him to get him to back off because he tried to jump my wife. My lawyer has done an intentional lousy job, okay? And when my lawyer comes at me this morning, yesterday, one of the reasons why I contacted my brother, and I'd like to say this to the public, is because I wanted to see what would happen. And I picked my words very carefully. And I'm going to tell you something. After I left my brother 2 messages warning him I'm going to ram him through the Supreme Court, okay, what did he do? He did exactly what I thought he would. And I needed him to do this because it proves collaboration between him and my lawyer. Okay? And my lawyer admitted that right away my brother emailed him and told him that I had fired him. Boom. Thank you, Mr. Mullowney. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate your cooperation. And you both did exactly what I expected. So, what was my position with Mullowney this morning? Well, I played him. Okay? I'm going to file against him in the Supreme Court for violating his client privilege. It's just, this is, and once again, Mr. Mullowney, last night when Mr. Mullowney talked to me on the phone, he emailed me, but he didn't write anything. You see, he doesn't do that, and I remember saying to my wife, I'm not responding to him. I'm not going to respond to him. He thinks I'm going to talk to him on the phone again? Forget it. Everything with him has been phone calls. Also, Mr. Mullowney, for the first time, suddenly changed his position. He stated that he mentioned the Bonifant will now. Okay? The last time we had discussed the Bonifant will is when Mr. Mullowney told me, well, Mr. Rubenstein didn't tell me that the other will was no good. Mr. Mullowney said the 2016 will was a codicil. But since when I contacted my brother yesterday and left him a couple of messages, I never threatened him physically with violence or anything. I never did that. I told him on the phone. I said, "Listen, now wait till you hear this." I said to my brother on the recording. I said, "Scott," I said, "your will's no good, and you knew this. Your will's illegal." I told him, I have this from 4 different lawyers, that your will is illegal. And you've been running around with it, okay? And I had a reason for telling him that. Because I'm going to tell you why. Because I knew that the first thing he would do would call Mullowney, okay? And what did Mullowney do when my brother told him on the phone or in an email after I contacted him yesterday? My brother told him, "Listen, Mr. Mullowney, my brother Daniel contacted me and told me that 4 lawyers told him that the 2016 will is illegal." Okay? And what did Mullowney do? Oh, what he did on the phone? What did he do today? He started saying, "Oh, your brother's going to have you removed as executor trustee in the Bonifant will." That's a first. Okay? So as soon as my brother was not made aware by Mr. Mullowney that his 2016 will was illegal. My brother was not made aware by Mr. Mullowney that was never made aware, okay, by Mr. Mullowney verbally or by email or by otherwise that his 2016 will is illegal. My lawyer never notified him of that at all. My lawyer only changed his mind because I contacted my brother by phone and told him that the 2016 will is illegal and that I have 4 lawyers who instantly said it was. Okay, he got worried and he contacted Mullowney. Okay? And suddenly Mr. Mullowney changes his tune, and he actually mentioned for the first time that I am executor and trustee of the Bonifant will. Okay? But he did it because my brother called him and said, "Hey, Mr. Mullowney, my brother's calling me, telling me that 4 lawyers said the 2016 will was no good." So what's happened here is my lawyer shifted gears instantly, and so did my brother. And then my lawyer reached out to me today to scare me with some lunatic affidavit of my brother's. My lawyer never once, and I say this to you folks in public and the Supreme Court of Canada because they're going to see these videos as evidence eventually. I say to all of you, this is my brother and my attorney doing this. So my attorney never told my brother that the 2016 will was illegal. My brother found out on the phone for me yesterday. My. Because I had set them up, you see. That's why I called him. Because I knew that my brother would react. And I'll tell you folks something else, okay? I was expecting Mullowney to contact me, and he did. He contacted me because my brother contacted him. All right? And said to him, "What's going on here? You never told me that my 2016 will was illegal, Mr. Mullowney," my brother said to him. I just got a call from my brother yesterday, two of them telling me 4 lawyers said the 2016 will is no good. What's going on, Mr. Mullowney? What do you want me to do, Mr. Mullowney? My brother probably said to him, well, Scott, file an affidavit against your brother. That's probably the way it went, okay? So they're both in big trouble. I'll be calling the Supreme Court this evening, leaving them a message again, advising them of what took place today. It's all being recorded there, and believe me, Mr. Mullowney, you and my brother, you're not getting away with what you did. And I'm telling you this. I'm sorry. I apologize, for using this morning's communication with you, Mr. Mullowney, but I was on an evidence hunt. You and my brother, Mr. Mullowney, fell into the trap. Okay, both of us. You got caught. Okay? And Mr. Mullowney can do whatever he wants. He can only continue on until, I dismissed him already, but I told him quite concurrently that he has till September 1st to either remove my brother and I become immediately executor of the estate and I will dissolve the estate according to law, okay? Or I'm going to the Supreme Court with the whole thing, including the other matter, okay? I make this clear. I'm not changing my mind. I will explain to the Supreme Court what's going on here. And the fact of the matter is we are able to prove to the Supreme Court of Canada we can't retain another lawyer. We can't find one. I tried. I made calls to other attorneys here. I tried to ask them if they would replace Mullowney on a contingency basis. I had one lawyer that was interested, a female, who had a colleague who was an estate lawyer. She said that I would hear back from him. I never heard back from him. He probably tried to call. Maybe his call was rerouted. This is the game that Canada is playing. Okay? I received a routed call yesterday after I left messages from my brother. And I did offer my brother a 50% split. I told him, look, you either agree to this or you're going down for all of this. So you make up your mind. I told him that he will have to come to Ottawa, okay? And that I am going to serve him documents from the Supreme Court of Canada, all right? And my lawyer is going to get served as well, okay? So I'm very good at catching people. My brother was the perfect target for my calls yesterday because he is so crazy, okay? I knew that he would contact my lawyer, and that's what I wanted. Because you see, here's the point, okay? My brother can serve whatever he wants in the Superior Court. He's allowed to do that. But the question now is, did the Superior Court accept his documents illegally? My lawyer admitted they helped him with his applications. And I said, they're not supposed to do that. He said, well, they think the whole thing's crazy and they just, he's bothering them like he went on with the usual routine, And again, what happened here 3 weeks ago is Mr. Mullowney contacted my brother to go to the house with a realty agent and get an assessment on the property. That's what he did. Okay? Because Lynn Frail said it was 3 weeks ago. I got people watching the house. I told Mullowney this and my brother. I got people watching the house. Okay? And the time frame in which this person indicated is the time frame Mullowney told me my brother accepted the agreement. And not only that, here this went out 3 weeks ago, is when this guy upstairs moved in and started harassing us. Isn't that something? 3 weeks ago, this guy moves in upstairs, assaults my mother, my wife and I, throws things at our door, trying to provocate me into a criminal physical confrontation with him so that Mullowney and my brother could get me nabbed. It was a setup. Okay? But you see, it didn't happen. You see, because I handled this person upstairs properly, like anyone would. I complained to the office. I sent a written email to management here about our complaints against him. And they graciously accepted our complaints. He was bothering other people, but he was bothering other people as covered. I'm telling you, this guy targeted me and my wife, and he did it on the Sabbath, 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row on Friday nights, okay, and twice in a row on Saturdays. Okay, because the last time he did it was last Friday, okay? But the landlord called the police, okay? And the police came here and knocked on my door, and they spoke with my wife, and they went up and talked to him, and then he stopped. So even the police know that this guy was harassing us, and it was a setup by someone, all right? And I, now after this event's over, okay, Mullowney tries to contact me, okay, after this guy's gone. That act failed. So we'll see. The question here is, do I have enough circumstantial evidence and testimony, and is my wife and I's credibility good with the Supreme Court of Canada? Do they believe us? In other words, do they believe we're telling the truth? Truth is very important, and the question to judges always is credibility. Credibility is what they're looking for. They're looking for the truth. And I have the truth. And that's all I have. I don't have anything else. That's all I have. I don't have lies. I'm not making up stories or imaginatory things. These things happen. And my wife and I are looking for some justice in our favor. All right? Mullowney and my brother work together. Okay? My lawyer, another thing I wish to mention in this video is that I told my lawyer, I said, look, the Salvation Army has records. He hit my mother, and they took her out of the home. They put her in a safe house. They didn't want her going back there. They were worried for her safety. He hit her. Just because the Salvation Army told me they didn't call the police, to have him charged. Hey, this lawyer can get that information like that. This is another thing. Mullowney has got nothing on my brother. All he talks about is what my brother's going to try and do to me. Almost like Mullowney's trying to intimidate me. I don't see Mr. Mullowney using anything against my brother. Nothing. I've got no documents from Mullowney proving anything. All I've got, folks, again, is telephone conversations. That's it. And that's meaningless. That's hearsay. Okay? My brother's irrelevant. Okay? I'm going to ask the Supreme Court in my application. I'm going to tell them it's a leave to appeal, that the Welland Court did not act properly, that there's an admission they helped him with his application, which they're not allowed to do, and they accepted responses by him that have nothing to do with the estate. Okay? And those applications by him should have been thrown out because they're all about my character of the past. Okay, some of which is not true. Okay, and they shouldn't have accepted that. They should have told my brother, look, you either have to come into court with something on your brother where he has stolen from your mother, or he stole her bank cards or credit cards, or and not only that, I say to you folks, my brother stole my mom's gold Visa card, okay, at one point. My mom's friend admitted this to me. She was there. Stole my mother's credit card and ordered a $15,000 rubber boat and outboard motor from British Columbia on her credit card, simply because my mom left her purse in the house and got into someone's car to leave the property. Okay? My mom, when she was in the car, told this person, oh no, I forgot my purse. I left it in the house with him. And then this person offered to drive my mom back home and turn around so she could get her purse. She said, no, let's not bother. He's already in it. And plus, Mr. Mullowney, very interestingly, he's not asking for copies of my mother's written diaries of my brother's abuse of her. These are in her handwriting. You see? So, again, my position is Mr. Mullowney is not on my side. He's playing me, okay? And I already told him, don't do that, So my position is, and I got to go now, my position is, as it was before, Mr. Mullowney, if you see this video, you have until the 1st of September to have him removed, and I mean removed completely. If you can't do it, Mr. Mullowney, I'm going to send you written notice that you're out of this, okay? And if Mr. Mullowney refuses to withdraw the case from the Superior Court, I will withdraw it. And I will inform the Superior Court in Welland that, number one, they violated the law. Okay? I will accuse them of assisting my brother with his application. I will accuse them of allowing illegal responses by him. Okay? My criminal history with Dalton McGuinty, which is all my brother really has, he doesn't really have anything else, is in the past. Okay? My wife and I have lived in the province of Ontario 3 years after we left my mom's house in peace, for the most part. We're well respected here by the landlord. We're very well respected by our landlords here and the managers who run the office. They've said to me many times, Dan and Jen, you're great people. You're very quiet. You don't bother other tenants. You mind your own business. They have commended us on our characters. Okay. There's been times when things have been a little rough with the management here, at no fault really of our own, just anger over people banging the ceilings and stuff like that, which anyone would get irritated over. Okay. And this guy upstairs. All right. But our characters here in Ottawa, our characters with our landlord, my communications to diplomats, Canadian government officials, has always been within the legal line of the law. Okay. So, but Mr. Mullowney doesn't seem to really care about any of that. Just doesn't care. So, he can continue on if he wants. He can continue on until I start the application to the Supreme Court. Okay? As soon as I start that application, I'm sending a fax to the Welland Court telling them Mr. Mullowney is not representing me anymore, and I am withdrawing for leave to appeal to the Supreme Court of Canada because your clerk has violated the law by, number one, assisting my brother. Okay? I will tell you folks something. When my wife and I went to the Superior Court clerk's office in Toronto in 2007 to file against the other party, okay, they refused to help us with anything. They did not give us any advice. I've been told by the Supreme Court of Canada, on numerous occasions, they told me, like when I talked to them on the phone a few times, and, I appreciate what they're saying. They told me they're not allowed to give me legal advice. Okay? They're not allowed to. Plain and simple. They're not allowed to help me with my case. I have to write up the case myself. I have to do the research myself. Okay? I have to try and follow some of the rules if I can even understand them. They told me that, and I respect that. The Superior Court of Ontario in 2007, Justice Patilla, okay, in that matter, we filed a $10 million lawsuit, okay? The other party was in default because they did not file a statement of defense regarding our statement of claim, okay? They surpassed by over 10 days the time limit given them to respond to our case with a statement of defense. They did not. So we moved to file a default judgment in the Ontario Superior Court of Toronto, a default judgment against the other party, okay? And the clerk's office computers on their database on our file stated the other party was absolutely in default. When we went into the courtroom before Justice Patilla, okay, and I'm going to explain this to you in the video, we told Justice Patilla immediately in that civil court that the other party was in default, okay, that it's on the clerk's... So he and their lawyer asked us, well, what evidence do you have here today to prove that? We have this little ticket that we showed their lawyer, and the judge saw it. And then the judge turned around and said to my wife and I contacted the clerk's office by telephone. And the clerk's office told me that the other party, the opposition, the respondents, were not in default, okay? And then after that, after the hearing was essentially over, the judge gave a recess, and he very politely said, look, Mr. and Mrs. Fitzgerald, please return to hear my decision. So we said, okay. So we went out on the front lawn of Osgood Hall Courthouse in downtown Toronto, sat on the lawn, and my wife said to me, "Look, Dan, why don't you call the clerk's office and see if they're still in default?" We had our cell phone. So I did. I did call them. And I gave them the file number on the phone, and the clerk said to me, "They're still in default. It's right on my computer." I said, "Are you sure? The judge said he called you and they're not in default." She said, "Nope, it's right here on my computer screen. The other party is still in default." This means the judge lied. Justice Patilla, you lied. Okay, now this brings the Superior Court of Ontario into disrepute over that. Okay, do I trust the Welland Courthouse? Well, look, when I hear the clerk's office is assisting my brother, that is interference. That's a conflict right there. And then when I hear that the clerk's office of the Welland Courthouse accepted his affidavits, that is against the law too. Okay, he has no right to use that kind of material that has nothing to do with the estate matter. None whatsoever. This guy is trying to manipulate the estate case into some kind of criminal activity by me. There has been none. My wife and I have lived here in Ottawa for 3 years. Okay, I've been charged with nothing. Okay, I have followed the law here. Okay, my wife and I followed the law in my mom's house. Okay, if I flick my arms up at my brother and it accidentally, hits his cap, well, hey, so be it. There was no intent on my part at all, none. And now he's bringing it up now after 3 years. Okay, he doesn't go to the police and say my brother assaulted me. Okay, he doesn't do that. I never assaulted him. He jumped at my wife, and my wife is a witness to this. Okay, and he's trying to, after 3 years, bring that up. That's ridiculous. Foolish and childish. And Mr. Mullowney, you have the nerve to talk to me on the phone, trying to scare me with his affidavit? That's what he was doing. I'm telling you this. He tried to scare me with my brother's affidavit. Okay? And I will be contacting the Supreme Court of Canada tonight. And Mr. Mullowney, I am filing on the 1st against you and my brother. And also the other matter will be included. Mullowney said to me on the phone, "Oh, the Supreme Court's not going to hear this. They're not going to hear the estate matter." Oh, really? I beg to differ, Mr. Mullowney. We made it very clear to the Supreme Court there is no other court to hear the matter. We've also made it clear to the Supreme Court, Mr. Mullowney, that all you lawyers seem to consult with each other. We also made it clear, Mr. Mullowney, my wife and I cannot retain any counsel here at all, period, and replace you. Okay? We've made that clear. Okay, so again, Mr. Mullowney, you are dismissed, okay, officially. But you will not be absolutely officially dismissed until September 1st, all right? Then you're going to be officially dismissed, and I'm going to fax a letter to the Superior Court of Welland telling them we're withdrawing the matter, that you're not, if you refuse to do it, Mr. Mullowney, I will do it, okay? And I will have this case withdrawn. Our case will be withdrawn. And I will be notifying them with leave to appeal to the Supreme Court. And I've already notified the Supreme Court, Mr. Mullowney. Okay? Now you get savvy, Mr. Mullowney. You're running out of time. Okay? You're deliberately downplaying and delaying everything. You never went after my brother. You did zero research on his assault against my mother where she was taken out of the house. You don't even care if you get the notes from my mother's handwriting of my brother's criminal physical abuse of her. You and my brother seem to be in agreement, Mr. Mullowney, after yesterday. And I say to you people in public, yes, I'm angry right now, a little bit. Mr. Mullowney suddenly switched over to the Bonifant will. He never told my brother. Mr. Mullowney, you never told my brother that his will was illegal, did you? He contacted you. He said, my brother called me and said the 2016 will's illegal. Didn't he? He called you, Mullowney, didn't he? Oh, what did you say to him, Lee? Did you tell my brother, oh, well, Mr. Fitzgerald, we're going to have to go by the Bonifant will now. Okay? The whole point of this, folks, in the public, is Mr. Mullowney, through my brother's response to Mullowney, the fact that my brother communicated to Mullowney, Mullowney said to me on the phone, your brother contacted me just to see if I was still representing you, right? Okay. Now, I have no doubt about that. Of course he would, right? But the point here is, folks, is that as soon as I told my brother that I have 4 attorneys who say his 2016 will is illegal, okay, as soon as that happened, he called my lawyer. And then at that point, my lawyer knew that I had told him, because my lawyer never told my brother once that his 2016 will was no good. And my lawyer, even after he found out that Peter Bonifant said to me that Bonifant took one look at the 2015-16 wills and said they were illegal. Okay? Jeremy Rubenstein of Williams Litigation looked at both wills. Immediately told me, without question, nope. Mr. Mullowney said codicil. Mr. Mullowney, what happened, Lee? You said a month ago it was a codicil. You see, so Mr. Mullowney now is trying to escape the fact that that he was using the 2016 will against me and that my executor trusteeship was out the window. So now him and my brother have decided to move on me over the executor trusteeship of the Bonifant will. So now they've switched. You see, that's where I got them. Okay? And again, I say again to you people in public, look, and to the Supreme Court and whoever else might access my videos, these people are really incredible, I got to tell you. So I'll let you go now, and I thank you for taking my call. God bless, shalom, and for my Jewish friends, Simon Wiesenthal Center, my Russian friends in New York, the government of Russia, the Chinese mission in New York, who I've been calling now for 7 years and leaving messages for the ambassador of China to the United Nations on many different topics, including ours. I thank the Chinese mission in New York and Miss Liu, the executive secretary for the ambassador of China to the United Nations, for taking an interest in the case against Canada. I thank you, Miss Liu, wherever you may be. I thank you, Miss Liu, for your government being interested in my emailing you the case against the Canadian government. And I also thank the Russian Federation as well. Okay, shalom, God bless, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And I wish my Chinese friends a wonderful day. I wish the consulate, I thank the consulate of China here in Ottawa and China's ambassador for, giving me permission to come down with some of the documents I'm going to give to the Supreme Court about the other matter. I thank the Chinese consulate for telling me that I could come down and give documents to their security official. I thank them very kindly. I have the greatest admiration for member states of the international community who want to see our case but have been disallowed by organized criminal syndicated government and its judicial system here in Canada, as well as the U.S. government assisting Canada in a criminal cover-up by organized crime in attacking my wife and I, our children, our property. I thank all those in the international community who took an interest, but we just could not get the information to you because our mail was not being allowed to leave the country. Sadly. Shalom, God bless, and thank you.